go ahead.
With, you said earlier that it's really difficult to stop Asia, obviously. With, being such a big post presence just in one person, was the decision not to play Mercedes kind of more of a experience level thing? Is it something that maybe you would adjust to get more time?
When Sadie's does play against Vegas, she has a little bit of time on Asia, but not a lot. And I felt like they went small.
And then, with Jackie Young, 21 points in the second half, what, maybe defensively did you see not happen, or offensively maybe you saw happen with Jackie?
I would have to take a look at the film, but Jordan started the game on her, and I felt like in the second half, a couple of miscues with the flares, the back screens, things that weren't happening in the first half, but we knew that they weren't going to have the same first half that they had, and that we needed to tighten up. At the end of the day, we can't give up a 30-point quarter. So it wasn't just Jordan or Jackie in that assignment. It was a team defensive effort and laps. And at the end of the day, it's difficult to come back from that when you give the defending champs that much fire or energy.
Over here, similar question, Coach, to your left. It seemed like you guys had so much defensive intensity in that first half. There was a lot of, effort plays left and right. It kind of gave you a lot of momentum. Do you feel like you were able to maintain that into the start of the second half, or was it just mental mistakes, or how would you kind of pinpoint what went wrong?
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of like getting to 50-50 balls. I don't remember a lot of those hustle plays. Asia kind of, asserting herself, rebounding, and things that kind of deflated us a little bit, as opposed to in the first half, that gave us some energy. Again, I would have to take a look at the film and see, but the turning the ball over, the team that doesn't turn you over a lot and giving 16 points, those are things that kind of take up your energy a little bit. But yeah, just our defensive effort in the second half wasn't quite there.
On the whole, when you're comparing this to the last game you played against the Aces, obviously, with them having Chelsea back, they're up to a higher standard, I think, of play than they started the season. Is this where you would want the chemistry to be, where you feel like you're still progressing through the season, given, like you said, the first half wasn't as good as the second half, but just on the whole?
I mean, they've played together for a long time. They've logged a lot of minutes, and what Chelsea is familiar and comfort and presence for them. We don't have the same amount of minutes or games or have gone through a championship or whatever. And so they have a leg up in that area. Are we where we want to be in the middle of the season? No. This is also, a good test to see where we match up, and there are things that we did well in this game that we will take, and we'll improve on the things that we need to get better at.
Yeah, so Coach, on that note, so what will be, without looking at the film, the teaching point? Because in the first half, you occupied the space, you pressured the ball, looked like you went through your scout. In the third quarter, you just talked about it, you have a mental breakdown.
I mean, without looking at the film, even in the first half, they took wide open shots and it just missed. And those were shots that we knew in the second half that they would make. The adjustments, it has to be twofold. It has to be our physicality. It has to be a rebounding effort. I can't just rely on Ezi and Nneka to come and get some rebounds. It has to be a focus on scout, play types, being sharper in certain moments of the game. So I would tend to think about the defense before I think about the offense, and we have to just be better in that end of the floor.
Let's go to Zoom. Take one from Jeff Brown. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, during the third quarter, they had a 14-2 run. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the third quarter, they had a 14-2 run. What did you see on both ends?
What did you see during the 14-2 run in the third quarter?
Just not, I don't know what our shooting percentage was, but a couple of missed bunnies, not sharp with the basketball, defensive slip ups, lapses, open threes, uncontested shots. Yeah, everything didn't go our way.
What were the positives you saw
Okay.
from?
Obviously we've talked a bit about what went wrong. What are the positives you are going to take away from this game that you want to hold on to and continue with?
Good question. I like the 10 offensive rebounds. I love the points in the paint, 46. We haven't shot the three ball at a high clip this season. So relying on points in the paint and the free throws and being aggressive. Um, fast break points, pretty, even. But I also would take into the account that we didn't just lay over. We had an opportunity to get back into the basketball game, and that shows a lot of growth for us.
Coach, I know you said the defense is where you wanted to improve, especially in that second half, but offensively, what would you like to see more of at the end of the game from your offense?
Just knocking down, the shots that we do get when we get to the rim, more efficiency there. Just a level of assertiveness and aggressiveness that we have in the first half. Don't shy away from that. I thought that we got good looks. I thought that the ball was moving. There are not a lot of times where I felt like, we were pretty stagnant getting to next actions, but continuing to have a variety of what we do. We got to, play more efficiently though.
Over here. You talked about the efficiency and just that. Turnovers also seem to be a little bit of an issue tonight,
Yeah.
13 of them. Do you think it was just the looks, the sloppiness of play? What sort of do you attribute that to?
The physicality, maybe. Again, I have to take a look at the film. They're such a veteran laden team to where they know what we're running. They know how to blow up things, but even still, they're not a disruptive team. So it was a matter of just letting, making reads cleaner, being sharper, passing and catching, being fundamental.
And the last question is from Jeff on Zoom. He's wondering if you could talk about Joyner's performance tonight.
I thought Joyner gave us good minutes because they were small. Guarding AC for us really, really mattered. And, her ability to, play in space and give us some versatility defensively when you're having to guard a guard at the forward position. I thought that she gave us really, really good minutes.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Players in here in just a minute.
That really good run.
I think my mindset going into the game is play defense. I think when I turn my brain on and tell myself to play defense, offense starts to come. But I think that's like a collective thing for all of us. And I think we've said time and time again, hang our hat on defense. And I think my defense got my offense going tonight. I was just in the right place at the right time.
A question for Ezi. Over here on your left. It seemed like you guys came into that game collectively with a ton of defensive intensity, just effort plays, throughout that first half. And I think were able to wear you down to some degree. Just how would you describe the intensity you guys brought into it and how tough it is to defend their depth when they have so many different scorers?
Yeah, I think Joy kind of said it like, she came in with a defensive mindset. I think a lot of our offense stems from our defense. So when we're being aggressive, when we're getting deflections, when we're playing help defense, I feel like that just triggers our offense. So, we want to do that. We want to do that throughout all four quarters. And I think we did a great job of starting the game like that. But obviously they have great players. So just figuring out how to stop. Obviously Jackie had a great game. I think that, it doesn't stem down to one person. It's team defense. So just figuring out how to lock her up.
As that third quarter, can you describe exactly what happened as much as you can remember without looking at the film?
They had a 30-point quarter, and that's not what we want to give teams. It's obviously a second time we've done that with a team, and I think when we can sustain the aggression defensively throughout all 4 quarters, then we put ourselves in great positions to win. I think we did a great job of coming back in the fourth quarter and obviously just getting, good shots, making, big stops. Joy came in and had really good minutes as well, kind of leading that. But yeah, I think just being better in the third quarter.
And then you did come back in the fourth quarter, as you mentioned, but just falling short. What do you take away from this, if anything?
Just knowing, I guess, that we can come back, we can make big plays, putting ourselves in positions to score. It shouldn't come down to the last play or the last couple of plays. So I think just taking it away that we, need to have a better third quarter. Yeah.
For either of you, talking a bit more about the third quarter. What was sort of the mentality of the team like in that quarter? Did it feel like effort had dropped off a little bit, or what were you thinking and feeling during that third quarter going into the fourth quarter?
I can't really speak for the whole team. I think just, obviously players got going. I think when we play team defense, that's when we play our best basketball. So, yeah, I know for me, just trying to figure out how to, get deflections, get stops, and kind of transition into offense that way. Because shots are not always going to drop, but I think you can always make an effort defensively. So I feel like that was a lot of our thoughts in the third quarter, just figuring out how we can, I guess, get stops and get offense that way.
Ezi, I'm just wondering in terms of the game flow, obviously both you and the ACES have a lot of paint defense coming in. You guys shot really well around the rim, but it seemed like the short jumpers, I guess, just outside of that, were struggling to fall. What did you feel like was the real difference in terms of, how that has gone this game versus the other games you've played Vegas in the past, trying to get a rhythm with them?
You mean playing against like teams with bigger posts?
Specifically with Asian.
Okay. Yeah. I think we do a great job of getting points in the paint, not just post players, but I feel like our guards do a great job of getting downhill as well. And obviously when you have players like Kia, like Asia, who are shot blockers, you find other ways to score. I think our guards and, Neka, Joy, they did a great job of, reading the defense. So if the layup or the shot under the basket isn't there, I feel like we have players that can make those shots. So yeah, just taking what the defense gives us.
No, right. Just at certain points of the game, it seemed like there were a lot of just crucial turnovers and timely moments. Why is it just so important, obviously, against a team like this who can sort of score in bunches, to just take care of the ball and sort of cut down again on those turnovers?
I think, yeah, every possession matters, and there were a few timely turnovers. I know I had a couple towards the end of the game, and I think just, figuring ways to kind of capitalize on, because we're forcing turnovers as well. I think just when we're down the other end, figuring out how to capitalize on those plays offensively. So just getting better, like the mistakes that we can control.
For either of you, let's start with Ezi. How much does their chemistry and the amount of games they've played together, do you see the difference just because, obviously you have players you have played with together, but what difference did that make in this game when a lot of those players have played multiple seasons together?
I don't think a huge difference. I feel like even though we are like a relatively new team, we still have built that chemistry, like throughout training camp, throughout the first 20, however many games we've played. Not taking anything away from Vegas, they've been together 3, 4, however many years. So I definitely think that helps, but definitely not using that as an excuse. Like I feel like we definitely match up well against them. But yeah, obviously the chemistry is there, so they know how to play well with each other. Obviously having Chelsea back, I feel like gets them going as well. But yeah, I feel like we match up well against them.
Question from Jeff Brown on Zoom. Just what was the message from the coaches after the game, Joyner?
Got 48 hours and we have another game. So just make sure, feel how you want to feel and don't let it soak into tomorrow. We got another game that we got to play. So just be ready and don't make the same mistakes. But I think we're going to continue to hang our head on defense and we can have another team come in here and score 30 points in one quarter.
And then Ezi, just to wrap up with a question that's not specifically about today's game, but your thoughts playing in the Olympics and playing alongside of Lauren Jackson, especially what she means to the game in your mind.
Yeah, obviously LJ's back on the Australian team. I played with her in Brazil at the start of the year, and so I knew she was doing everything she could to be healthy for selection, and she's done that. So to be able to play with her again at the Olympics is pretty special. You guys have seen what she's done for Storm basketball, and I've seen what she's done for Australian basketball. So just to have her at the world stage again is exciting for me, especially, but I feel like just for women's basketball as well.
Thanks, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See everybody back here on Friday.